Hello, this is Mark Nichols. I'm a Senior Partner Solutions Architect at Snyk, and today I'm going to talk about extending the power of Snyk to achieve holistic security coverage with integrations like our new GitGuardian integration. I want to start sharing a little bit of a personal story. I had the wonderful opportunity to go to Georgia Tech and study chemical engineering. Part of that experience was taking classes like calculus and quantum mechanics and chemical engineering process control, and one of the common characteristics they had across each one of my classes was that the professors seemed to assume that that was the only class I was taking that quarter, and they would assign enough homework that for me took about 40 hours per week per class. And so with a load of 5 classes per quarter, you can see that that was pretty overwhelming quickly, which is kind of like the challenge that application security managers face in the current world. We also had the added pressure of what was called the 3D rule in chemical engineering at Georgia Tech. And what this meant was that if you had a D or an F, or you withdrew from 3 chemical engineering courses, that you were not able to graduate in chemical engineering from Tech. That resulted in more seniors dropping out of chemical engineering than freshmen, sophomores, or juniors. And unfortunately, this type of pressure can sometimes cause a bit of a nightmare. I've heard that 70% of the population that's gone to college suffers from the nightmare of walking into a classroom, having to take a test or a final, and realizing that they haven't gone to class. And that's certainly one thing that application security managers may dream about, is that they don't want to be prepared or to be unprepared for the next unexpected vulnerability. So let's shift now and talk a little bit about what the modern world of DevSecOps is all about. Of course, every one of us knows that the world of DevOps is not a place that we can slow down and stop for security scans. There's just too much going on and it's happening too fast. The world of the cloud has added new complexity along with developer-driven infrastructure that requires another layer of security. And then we have the wonderful world of artificial intelligence and the whole new can of worms that is opened up by AI-generated code. For organizations that are building their future on software innovation, shift-left security is more critical than ever. Application security has become developer security. Recent statistics show that about 92% of developers are using AI-generated code. And that sounds like it could be a wonderful thing, because it's improved our speed of development by a factor of 2. Unfortunately, 40% of that code that's being generated by artificial intelligence is showing vulnerabilities. What this means is that trusted developer security is essential for the AI revolution. The new left in our software development life cycles are AI assistants. Anything from Gemini to Copilot. It's a whole new world of starting with shift left. Application security teams have to scale developer security across the entire enterprise. And there's some pretty big questions that come along with this. What code and apps exist in my company? Are they being scanned? What level of risk exists in those apps? Which vulnerabilities or issues do we need to fix first, and how do we fix it? We've shifted left, but are the devs fixing the right stuff to reduce our overall risk? Is this code change going to be safe to deploy? There has to be a shared lens on their apps, risk, and the path to fix those. The goal here is secure and performant development at scale. In order to shift left, security has to be integrated seamlessly into our existing workflows. In order to manage risk holistically, we have to have a complete view of the application risk for developers, business, and the runtime context to make good decisions. And the overarching theme here is that we have to have DevSec governance that guides the developer actions with contextual guardrails built into those workflows. This is where the Snyk Developer Security Platform comes into play, with unmatched speed, accuracy, coverage, and an ease of use. It includes the traditional Snyk products like Snyk Code, Snyk Open Source, Snyk Container, Snyk Infrastructure as Code, and now Snyk AppRisk Pro. The Snyk Developer Security Platform is designed to support any security workflow at any scale. For the developer, it means that they can innovate while building securely. They can find, fix, and prevent issues that matter as quickly as possible in their development lifecycle. For the AppSec team, it means that they can build and manage the developer security program with app-centric software supply chain visibility, risk management, and policy, supporting devs across every app. Snyk AppRisk is a developer-first ASPM. Discovery and visibility provide you with a comprehensive understanding of all of your apps across the software development lifecycle. It allows you to create policies to manage your security coverage. This ensures that your critical assets are being secured properly by Snyk or otherwise. And Snyk AppRisk Pro provides risk-based prioritization. This allows you to use extensive dev, biz, and runtime context to collaborate on fixing your top risk. Now let's take a look at the integration between Snyk and GitGuardian in the context of Snyk AppRisk Pro. GitGuardian is one of the leaders in secrets detection. They recently released their State of Secrets Sprawl 2024 report. In that report, they noted that almost 13 million new secrets were detected in public GitHub commits for 2023. This was a 28% increase from the previous year. They also found that more than 1 in 10 commit authors had leaked a secret, and almost 5% of active repositories had leaked a secret in 2023. GitGuardian provides end-to-end secrets detection and remediation. This includes monitoring your DevOps environments for security policy breaks and detection of over 350 types of secrets. You can provide alerts delivered to your security and developer teams to work with, and the remediation process allows you to prioritize, investigate, and scale incident remediation with your developers. You can also set up secrets deflectors with GitHook scanning for developers. And analytics allows you to examine exposure trends over time and measure the return on investment for your efforts. GitGuardian prevents your developers from exposing secrets at the source. They provide secret scanning in the CLI with GG Shield, which deflects hard-coded secrets in pre-commit and pre-receive hooks for developers. Together, Snyk and GitGuardian allow you to mitigate risk early in the development process and prevent secret sprawl within your software supply chain. This improves your overall code security posture. So how do these two come together in the new Snyk AppRisk Pro? Well, the answer is that you can get secrets protection coverage configured from the AppRisk Pro environment. This means that you can create a policy that says monitor these assets for secrets detection and provide discovery and coverage validation across all your assets. Let's take a look now at a live demo. Let's start with the Snyk AppRisk Pro Analytics dashboard for the applications. This shows us that we're monitoring 59 total assets, and Snyk AppRisk Pro allows you to provide asset classification as an A, B, C, or D based on your requirements as an organization. We can see a classification of issues by category, whether it's SAST issues, container issues, secrets issues, or open source issues. We can also see the trend of the weekly backlog for open issues. Next, let's take a look at the assets dashboard. That includes a repository breakdown by source code manager, the technology breakdown for which technologies are in our repositories, the asset breakdown by type, whether it's packages, repositories, or containers, and what our coverage looks like across each one of those categories. Once you've defined the integrations for your software repositories, you can begin to develop policies to define how you want coverage to occur for those assets. Let's drill down into the secrets detection coverage. This policy is how we're going to detect secrets detection. This filter says that if there's a repository that's involved with Azure DevOps, let's define this coverage control that says it has to include GitGuardian for part of our coverage policy. Once we've defined our policies and imported our assets, they show up here on the inventory screen. Now let's take a look at the inventory screen. The first column are assets, which can be containers, software code repositories, or packages. The second column are the issues that have been identified by the application security tools. The third column represents controls. It shows us which controls have been applied to which asset. Then there are tags associated with it, developers, and the class is an opportunity to identify what's important in your organization. You can assign an A, B, C, or D class for use in your calculations of risk. A moment ago, we talked about defining a policy for secrets detection related to Azure repos. So what I'm going to do here is go in and define a filter that says if the source is one of an Azure DevOps repo. Here we can see that there are 4 assets that have been identified that are coming from dev.azure.com. The first one is the Goof repo. We've got issues here, and we can see that there is secrets detection enabled for each one of these repos. And if we drill down into this, we can see the issues that were identified by Snyk Code, Snyk Container, Snyk Open Source, and GitGuardian. If I click on the GitGuardian link, it takes me to the incident that was identified by GitGuardian scanning. One other capability of Snyk AppRisk Pro that I want to highlight here is the Insights capability. And as I mentioned when I was talking about my experiences from Georgia Tech and being overwhelmed, it's very common for organizations to have thousands of vulnerabilities, and they need to know how to prioritize those vulnerabilities. With Snyk AppRisk Pro Insights, you can see how this narrows down based on OS condition, whether or not it's deployed, whether or not it's public facing, and whether or not there's a loaded package, or this package is loaded and exposed to the internet. And now I know what the top 11 vulnerabilities are that I need to focus on in order to fix, in order to reduce the risk in my organization. So in summary, I know it's a little bit of a stretch, but there was some relationship between application security and my experience in chemical engineering. Yes, I was overwhelmed with too much work to do, and yes, I had to prioritize which homework I was going to do, and no, I didn't get it all done. But the bottom line is that Snyk AppRisk Pro provides the discovery and the visibility that you need for a comprehensive understanding of all your apps across the software development lifecycle. You have to manage your security coverage and ensure that your critical assets are being secured properly by Snyk or otherwise. And you have to prioritize what you're going to work on. Use extensive developer, business, and runtime context to collaborate on fixing your top risk. Now, for more information, you can always go sign up for a free trial with Snyk at app.snyk.io. You can learn more about Snyk AppRisk Pro here in the link from learn.snyk.io, and you can learn more about GitGuardian secrets detection at gitguardian.com. Thank you so much for joining us today.